Hallöchen Freunde und herzlich willkommen zurück zu Genshin Impact. In der letzten Part waren wir oben auf dieser Jade gedacht oder Jade-Festung. Ich sag das jetzt immer hier, die Jade-Festung. Und dann, als wir darauf in diesen Moor dort da waren, und da kam plötzlich Ganyu und hatte da plötzlich meinen Namen erwähnt. Das war jetzt das erste Mal, dass ich gehört habe, dass Ganyu meinen Namen erwähnte. Also, geh zur Goldstube. Okay, wait. Warte. Bevor wir da in die Goldstube gehen, müssen wir die Truppe erstmal wechseln. Weil wir wissen noch nicht, was es dafür kommt.
Here, let me help you.
Wir wissen noch nicht, was dafür kommt. Wir wechseln zu Diluc. Wir haben Barbara, die kann sehr gut heilen. Diluc, ein ganz guter, auch sehr starker Feuerkämpfer. Ganyu, die Eisschützin. Und dann noch Lisa, die elektrische Zauberin. Nun gehen wir mal... gucken wir jetzt mal die Karte schnell mal nach, wo das ist. Hallo, Karte. Oha, das ist ja ganz hinten. Teleportieren wir dort mal. Ich glaube, da ist wirklich was faul. Die Goldstube. Oh, das klingt bestimmt nach einem ganz großen Bosskampf. Wissen wir noch nicht. Das wissen wir noch nicht, was das dafür kommt, aber ich schätze mal, dass es ein Bosskampf kommt. Oh! Feinies. Ich liebe solche Hunde. Ich liebe Hunde und Katzen. Die sind so schöne Tiere. Aber ich denke mal, dass es jetzt dann gleich plötzlich ein Bosskampf kommt. Ich kann mich entziffern. Oh. Oh, warte mal kurz. Ich muss den Ausdauer erstmal auffrischen. Den brauchen wir sowieso, um auch schneller zu rennen, dass man auch einige ausweichen könnten. Oh. Oh, Backe, das... Oh, das hört sich nach einem sehr großen... Das sieht irgendwie nach Bosskampf aus. Ich weiß es ja nicht genau, aber wir gehen trotzdem mal rein. Goldstube betreten. Ich hab's gewusst, dass es dann plötzlich ein Bosskampf kommt. Aber bloß gut, dass wir die Figuren aufgestuft haben. 3 Level 60er und ein Level 50er. Und die Truppenstufe braucht man Level 30. Und nun starten wir die Herausforderung. Ich glaube, das wird ein Bosskampf. Das wird ein Bosskampf kommen.
Wow! This is the Golden House? It looked impressive enough from the outside, but who would have guessed that it was even fancier on the inside? And so full of Mora. This is where all of Tibet's Mora is minted, right? In that case, maybe they won't notice if a few Mora go missing.
Hallo David. Willkommen in meinem Stream. Es folgt gleich. Ja, ja, ich glaube, dass das ein Bosskampf kommt. Das kommt ein Boss. Wenn du eine einzelne Mora anfasst, sind wir erledigt.
Oh, so it's a trap. Tricky. Good thing Paimon's got you here. But even if we can't take any, we can still have a closer look, right? Or better yet, take a nap on top of a mountain of Mora. It's like a dream come true.
Irgendwas scheint hier nicht in Ordnung zu sein.
Oh, right. Back to business. It's quiet. Too quiet. Surely someone's gotta be guarding something as important as the Exuvia. Huh? Look! What happened here?
Das sind Milliliten.
Uh-oh. Paimon smells trouble. Quick! We have to go make sure that the Exuvia is alright.
Oh. Das ist nicht gut. Das ist nicht gut. Das ist der Drache. Rex Lapis.
You've already fulfilled your task as guides, so why do you still linger here? Haven't you...
Huh? Who's there?
If you were Fatui, I imagine that you would be entitled to a generous reward from the Tsaritsa herself. But now, you're nothing but dross, and you're in my way.
Wie hast du Wind von diesem Ort bekommen?
Where should I start? Well, I've never been one to beat around the bush, you know. But who could have possibly guessed that the god of Geo would mysteriously perish the very moment I arrived in Liyue, and that the Exuvia would subsequently be hidden away? If it weren't for that lovely little rite of parting ceremony you put together, it would have taken me a whole lot longer to get the information I needed. Stopping the Mora Mints, hiding away the Exuvia. The Chising are really pulling out all the stops this time.
So you've been planning to take the Gnosis from inside the Exuvia all along?
As one of the 11 Fatui Harbingers, it's my duty to see the will of the Tsaritsa fulfilled. She will get that which she desires.
Nicht solange ich da bin.
I'm not asking for your blessing, and there's nothing you can do to stop me anyway. The time for discussion and diplomacy has already passed. I mean, if it were up to me, I would have skipped that stage to begin with. Either way, we now come to my favorite part. A simple pleasure, and one that I am oh so delighted to be sharing with you. The battle.
Battle? So you're the type that goes looking for trouble, huh?
You could say that. When Signora offended the deities outside the cathedral in Mondstadt, she swiftly left the scene once her mission was accomplished. Instead of confronting you directly, she chose to rely on the snow and ice to make her escape. She wouldn't want the knights to come running towards the sound of battle now, would she? When she faces a worthy opponent, she will prioritize her mission, weigh the outcomes, and consider the consequences of her actions. But as for me, the greatest pleasure of being a Harbinger lies in crossing blades with strong opponents.
We won't let what happened in Mondstadt ever happen again!
Oh, so you intend to fight me? Good. I won't kill you, Traveler. I'll just play along. Besides, you could never defeat me, not even in your wildest dreams. But hey, try to relish the fight anyway, because if you ask me, without that, what else is there?
Ich glaube, das gibt gar keinen zweiten Wort hier. So, das einzige, ich kann dich niemals besiegen. Ich fürchte, du irrst dich. Also, okay, dann drücke ich das mal.
Fighting talk, I love it. Now let's see you live up to it. This chance is hard to come by, so show me all you've got. So very few ever get the chance to square off with a Fatui Harbinger. So come now, amuse me, and don't you dare disappoint.
Ich hab's gewusst, dass es ein Bosskampf. Ich hab's gewusst, dass es ein Bosskampf kommt.
You're wide open.
Oh no!
Ich hab's gewusst, dass es ein Bosskampf kommt. Auch bloß gut, dass wir aufgelevelt haben.
Come on, we can do it!
Wo bist du? Wo bist du? Wow! Bloß gut, dass wir ausgewichen haben.
You've made some progress. Not bad. You've got a trick or two. Haha, good. No wonder Senora was so wary of you. Well, that just means I can go all out. Brace yourself. This is about to get tough.
Hat sich
Show me
geheilt.
what you can do against the might of a Harbinger.
Hat sich komplett regeneriert.
No use hiding back there.
Alter Schwede. Alter, wie viel Schaden das überhaupt macht. Wow. Du wirst mich nicht besiegen.
You've got some skills.
Let the show be.
Ich hab's gewusst, dass du's bist. Was macht er jetzt? Alter! Was macht er jetzt? Okay, das scheint ja wohl so eine Ablenkungsattacke sein, aber...
All you do is run. Yeah.
Autsch! Wow, 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 wow. Au! Aua, verdammt! Au, verdammt!
You're in for a little.
Ah, stehen kann ich auch nicht.
No use hiding back there.
Don't be such a brute.
Aua, verdammt, 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 verdammt. Was jetzt?
Not bad. Your swordsmanship is quite impressive. But that's about as far as you'll get. Didn't think you had that card hidden up your sleeve.
You were just playing us to get close to the Exuvia.
Oh, quiet down. Stop acting like some wide-eyed recruit. You've seen this world. You of all people should know. This should have been expected. Well then, I'll be taking Morax's Gnosis now. I see. Well, this is most unexpected. You beat me to it, didn't you?
Der Graf.
Not bad. But this is going to cost you!
Oh. Okay, der letzte, also jetzt der finale Form.
You got to the Gnosis ahead of me, didn't you? Did you simply move faster? Or did you leak the information regarding the Golden House to me on purpose? No matter. Hand the Gnosis over, now! Don't make me take it from you!
We didn't take it.
Auch bloß gut, dass wir auf Level 60 sind. Und falls Sie darauf nicht so wissen hier in der Goldstube, man denkt man so diese kurze Säulen oder was da hinten fließt, das ist Wirklichkeit fließendes Gold. Aber für mich ist es genau so wie fließende, glühend heiße Lava. Aber das ist kein Lava, sondern Gold. Oh, ich bin schon fast tot, ich bin schon fast tot, ich bin schon fast tot. Alter!
Next, a born of ice and frost.
Achtung! Nein, nicht die Sphäre verlassen. Ich muss schnell ins Rucksack. Schnell, ich muss was heilen. Sonst haben wir so schlecht im Kampf verloren. Jetzt wirst du durch das Feuer gegrillt. Keiner schlägt mich. Upsala.
Die here.
Okay, gut, dass wir ausgewichen haben. Und jetzt. Oh, warte mal. Jetzt Timing! Feuervogel! Und du bist erledigt. Du bist erledigt.
Look! Child's back to normal again!
Well then, time to cool off. It seems the burden of the foul legacy transformation was too great for my body. I lacked the opportunity to think this through. And now that I consider the matter more carefully, you never had any chance of beating me to the Gnosis. You had no connection to the Gnosis, no matter where it had been taken.
That's what we've been trying to tell you! We didn't take it!
Your show of ability today far surpasses that of Signora's initial assessment of you in Mondstadt. Tell me, how could that be?
Es liegt daran, dass wir die Kräfte der 7 Elemente sammeln.
You already know the answer, don't you? I can see it in your eyes. But if that is a secret you wish to keep, I guess I'll just have to curb my curiosity. This battle has already left me satisfied. Anyone who strives as I do to grow stronger shall be called a friend, even if our friendship can only be shown in battle against one another.
Pretty sure that's not the normal way to make friends.
Unfortunately, I must bring this amiable conversation to an end. My quest still beckons. Given that the Gnosis wasn't taken by anyone, then we must look once again to the beginning. Perhaps it was never in the Exuvia to begin with. In fact, it might be that the Exuvia was just a diversion of sorts.
What? So you mean that...
Rex Lapis lebt noch?
Yes, it appears so. Interesting to say the least.
Hey Notes Brawl, du hast ein bisschen verpasst, weil es war gerade für uns der Bosskampf.
It seems that the guardian deity of the capital of commerce is also well versed in little maneuvers beyond the boundaries of contracts. As such, we must now look to our backup plan.
Backup plan?
I had hoped it would never come to this. I absolutely detest working with those who are weaker than I. The truth is, the world belongs to those of us who desire to become strong. I seldom willingly mingle with any dull and boring weaklings who think otherwise.
Ja, es ist jetzt gerade der zweite Stream, den ich mache, weil ich habe so Bock auf Bosskampf gehabt und dann habe ich jetzt gerade einen Bosskampf gemacht. Deswegen hier muss ich einen zweiten Stream machen.
Unfortunately, we cannot be picky about our methods as Fatui Harbingers. Children must all learn to eat their vegetables sometime.
So what are you planning to do?
I will awaken the god that lies dormant beneath Guyon's stone forest.
A god?
Osial, Overlord of the Vortex, who was defeated by Morax, the Geo-Archon in the Archon War, and who has remained pinned beneath the waves by the Geo-Archon's stone spears ever since. If such an ancient god were to be unleashed upon Liyue Harbor, defenseless without the protection of its deity, do you think the cunning Rex Lapis would just stand aloof and watch the ensuing destruction?
Ja, das weiß ich, aber zum Glück war ich nämlich auf Level 60, also Dialog und die anderen.
But the Archon War ended 2,000 years ago. How can an ancient god appear in a world now overseen by the Seven?
Simple. I've already prepared the means to awaken it.
Hey, those are sigils of permission. Oh, Paimon remembers now. The Fatui have been researching them.
Ich habe deine Forschung mit meinen eigenen Augen gesehen.
Indeed. The one that was given to you was just a byproduct of our research. With the power of so many sigils of permission concentrated in one place, along with that which was bestowed upon me as a harbinger by our Tsaritsa, breaking the subduing might of the Geo-Archon spears for a time should be no obstacle. Using the powers of ancient gods in such a situation fails to interest me, and is largely against my principles. But knowing that such an action will not only force the Geo-Archon to show its hand, but you as well, that makes matters a little more intriguing.
Was geschieht denn hier? What the...
Let's see. Will the nation that has lost its deity be swallowed up by an ancient malice once more? If you wish to drown together with the people of Liyue, you're free to stay and enjoy the show.
Huh? He's already gone. That guy is fast. What's going on?
Oh nein. Was geschieht denn hier? Was geschieht denn jetzt plötzlich hier?
Paimon's exhausted. If we hadn't happened to see the Jade Chamber flying over just as we came out of the Golden House, we really wouldn't have known which way to go. Did we make it in time? Is the Overlord of the Vortex still in the sea?
What are you doing here?
Oh, Xiao!
Huh? Hold on. It's the Adepti. What are you doing on the Jade Chamber? Paimon thought you were arguing with the Qixing.
Faced with a calamity of such magnitude, we have...
Oh, Paimon gets it. So how do you plan to defend Liyue? Just seeing this Overlord of the Vortex guy puts a pit in Paimon's tummy, even from all the way out here.
It's not just you. We've got new Millilith recruits who can't even stand at attention without shaking. The force of an ancient god's presence seems to be too much for ordinary people to handle. Which is why we must stop that monster before it gets any closer to Liyue Harbor.
So the Archon War was fought 2,000 years ago against enemies like that thing? So will the power of the Qixing, Millilith, and Adepti gathered here be enough to stop that god?
We've already discussed this together, and our conclusion is... not necessarily.
What? But all of you were supposed to be the Guardians of Liyue. Can't you think of something?
One certainly could.
Huh?
The Qixing did once research the matter of the Guizhong Ballista when it piqued their fancy. And as fate would have it, one who did craft the Guizhong Ballista with one's own hands is here. For what could you mortals ever learn of Adepti mechanisms? Yet, it would take one, but a little tinkering to turn this ballista into an engine of war beyond your wildest thoughts.
I suppose this is one blessing from the Adepti that we should be thankful for. So be it. We shall use the upgraded Guizhong Ballista to fight off that god. All the Adepti here can lend their strength to man it. We haven't a moment to spare. Our battle begins now.
Huh?
Adepti are manning the Guizhong Ballista. Do not let the Fatui disturb their work.
All able Millilith, with me!
Let's go up too.
We Adepti have not faced a god in several millennia.
Okay.
Let one see what you're made of then. What strength remains within you. One wishes to witness.
Okay, die Schlacht beginnt. Wo sind die Gegner? Ach, hier! Wie kannst du das wagen, einen anzugreifen? Okay, jetzt ihr! Und boom!
That is Osial's divine power. I am very familiar with it. Be careful not to get hit.
Okay, wo sind die Gegner? Ah! Da kommen sie.
Their attacks are unrelenting.
How daring. Snezhnai's diplomats will answer for this afterward. Every last one.
Und wenn das...
The ancient gods attacking again. There are so many between too. We can't look.
Were you about to say we can't hold them, children?
Oh Gott! Oh Gott, Alter.
Don't lose heart. Here, take this.
This is depthful energy. That light from your body. It's like the time of Julian Karst. Wow, it's a medicated shockwave.
Oh, verdammt.
Green is really strong.
Ah, jetzt kommen die nächsten. Du wirst uns nicht besiegen.
With the blood of the Chilean, I guard you against evil. Cast your fear of injury by the wayside, and fight with all your might. I too did this during the Archon War.
So this is what Ganya's like in a fight.
My name means swiftness. Take my power and run as I do.
We're going too fast.
Ich muss mich konzentrieren beim Kampf. Autsch!
Child, you are strong in body and spirit. Perhaps you can withstand 3 forms of adeptal energy at once.
Ah, und ich werde
This
geheilt!
will hurt a little. Please bear with us.
Once you've adapted, try to use them in battle.
Look at me.
Du wirst nicht angreifen, hab ich gesagt! Okay, jetzt hier!
Look at me. Exercise caution. I fear that the god's power has reached its peak. In other words, if we hold here, there's nothing worse to come, right?
Komm schon! Das kriegen wir hin! Was? Wieso kommen immer mehr? Die große Schlacht. Die werden schaffen. Ob wir möchten oder nicht. Feuer!
The Fatui's numbers are thinning!
Fight on, comrades! Once we finish this lot off, the Adepti will be able to deal with the god in peace.
Okay, noch 20 Sekunden. Gut, dass wir noch richtig heilen.
The interlopers are no more. Now we may commit ourselves fully.
Wow! Erzlaser!
It's working! We just need to keep this up!
Was jetzt? Oh nein. Oh, nochmal Glück gehabt.
Be careful now.
The Guizhong Ballista is destroyed. Without its covering fire, retaliation shall be difficult.
But the Jade Chamber is our last line of defense. We can't give another inch, no matter what.
I have another idea.
What do you mean, Lady Ningguang?
I'll sacrifice the Jade Chamber.
What is the meaning of this?
Was?
I understand.
Traveler, lend me a hand. Farewell, old friend. Goodbye for now. Let us meet again in the future.
Oh. Nein. Die hatte gemacht. Nein. Komplett zerstört. Aber das fällt ja auch nichts mehr ein, gegen diesen Monster zu kämpfen. Oh mein Gott, war das heftig.
Is it finally over?
The ominous aura of that monster has indeed begun to fade. The effects of the Sigil of Permission last but a short time. It will be some time before the Overlord of the Vortex can make any waves again.
We are indebted to you for your assistance. If the Adepti hadn't happened to be here, the future of Liyue Harbor would surely have been in great jeopardy.
Save your flattery. We didn't just happen to be here. Surely you won't pretend to have forgotten the reason for which we came.
Come now. There's no need for such harsh words, Cloud Retainer. I've heard that when Ningguang began learning to do business, she had already started setting aside part of her then limited income in preparation for building the Jade Chamber. At first, it was only the size of a small room, but with continued expansion, it has become the palace that lies before you now. It is a testament to Ningguang's entire life, both as a businesswoman and as the backbone of the Liyue Qixing. Seeing the Jade Chamber destroyed in the defense of Liyue means much to her. To me, such cooperation and sacrifice deserves at least some recognition, don't you agree?
Well, I was really hoping you would say that such sacrifice could at least be used as some leverage in our negotiations. Thank you all for hearing me out.
Oh?
3,700 years. According to our records, the Adepti signed a contract with Rex Lapis to protect Liyue 3,700 years ago. Even to this very day, Liyue and its lands have stood the test of time, immovable as stone, just as it was thousands of years before. This is truly no small feat. But that does not mean that the Liyue of today is the same city as it was all those years ago. Do not merely cast your protective gaze upon the land. Instead, focus your sights on our city and each of the citizens that dwell within it.
Are you questioning our means of protecting Liyue?
I mean no offense. I simply hope that our Adepti forebears would see Liyue in a new light.
Forebears, you say? One doubts you would be fit to be part of such a lineage.
This morning, Rex Lapis appeared to me in a dream.
What?
In the dream, I yearned to tell him that we Qixing, though mortal, are equally bound to the contract. I also thought to tell him how the past generations of Qixing had strove under his rule to survive in our mortal world. But I dared not speak. I could only gaze at him in silence until the moment I awoke.
Oh, Ningguang.
Wir sind hier alle auf derselben Seite.
Yet another perspective. What are you trying to say, Outlander?
Wenn es unheimlich zwischen den Beschützern und denen gibt, die beschützen sollen, dann wird es sehr schwierig, die Harmonie wiederherzustellen.
Right! That's something that happened in Mondstadt. It's a story about the Four Winds and the people of the Animal Archon. The Animal Archon sought to quell the strife between the two sides, because he believed that such conflict would only scar the hearts of both, and that nothing good would come of it.
Das haben wir in der Stadt der Freiheit gelernt.
Each of the 7 nations has its own scars from the past.
Though your point is the very height of simplicity. As Adepti, we've become a laughingstock, to be chastised thus by an outlander who has lent us such succor.
All right, all right. Didn't Ningguang suggest that we should focus on the city and each of its citizens? I know I already have, so why not see for yourselves?
I apologize for appearing in full armor. I am afraid I cannot show the proper courtesies.
And who are you?
I am Feng Yan, a sergeant of the Millelith. I have come to extend my thanks to the Adepti. I thought this battle would perhaps be my last. but thanks to the aid of the Adepti, our forces were not as badly battered as I feared we might be. Although I am a mere mortal soldier, I promise to hold the line and never betray the grace given to us by the illuminated Adepti this day.
Huh? Why does everyone look so down? Didn't we just beat that big monster?
Weren't you frightened, dear? It was quite the predicament.
I wasn't afraid. All the strong Millilith guards were there, and those powerful heroes with their visions were there. Everyone was there. When danger is near, everyone always protects me. And the rest of the time, they make fun toys and tasty snacks and loads of things that make the harbor so pretty. Thanks for protecting Liyue Harbor. Please come visit us for the next lantern rite.
Unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to participate.
Huh?
Because we are Adepti.
Okay. It must be hard being an Adeptus. Aww.
You see, this is what Liyue is like today. Grateful to the Adepti for their protection, but it is no longer necessary for the city to rely on the Adepti's power to solve every little niggling matter. Although their blood is weak, there is still strength to be found in those we call mortals. The time of contracts between gods and past. Now is the time of contracts between Liyue and its people.
Seeing the port around us now, it is hard not to feel a bit out of place. Wouldn't you say so, Cloud Retainer?
Your line of inquiry is askew. One did not spearhead this expedition to Liyue Harbor.
Seems like the Adepti have had a change of heart.
Sie versuchen, die Herzen der Menschen zu ergründen.
Let us return now.
Eager to leave, conqueror of demons.
Yes, one understands what the Conqueror of Demons means. The city of Liyue has changed much after our long separation. One fears that by the time one finally grasps the new contracts of Liyue, you humans would have once again changed the place beyond recognition. Fair enough.
Since we Adepti have consensus, then one shall persist no further. But how will we ensure that the Liyue Qixing will not simply exploit their power once we depart? In my view, that is still a thing to be guarded against.
All right, Mooncarver, you needn't worry. It seems to me that this right of supervision is best left to the people of Liyue.
Looks like the conflict between humans and Adepti was avoided. All's well that ends well, huh?
Du sagst es.
Oh, right! It's nice that we've got peace and all, but we're forgetting one thing. Child wanted to unleash the god so he could lure Rex Lapis out. But we were able to handle the Overlord of the Vortex on our own, so Rex Lapis never showed up. Oh, and speaking of that, don't we still need to get to the bottom of that Archon's death, too? Hyman doesn't get it. But isn't the strongest lead we have the Adepti-less rite of parting that we're organizing? No idea where Zhongli's gone. Let's ask for him at Wangshem Funeral Parlor.
Oh, Alter! Habt ihr das gesehen? Die Jade gemacht ist weg. Oh nein. Aber das waren zum Glück aber keine Truhen da. Sonst hätten wir sofort richtig. Sonst hätten wir wirklich im Scheiße gewesen. Aber gegen ein Monster und dann noch hier die. Und dann noch hier. Ich bin sprachlos, weil Das hat mich echt ein bisschen das hat mir ein bisschen Schmerz gebracht. Beim Jade gemacht. Und jetzt müssen wir zu Jing, oder wie das so nennt. Ich weiß nicht.
Is there anything I can do for you two? I'm afraid that Wangsheng funeral parlor isn't in the best state to receive guests.
We've come to see Zhongli. Could you please tell him we're here?
Unfortunately, Zhongli isn't here at the moment. It seems he went to Northland Bank.
Doesn't the Northland Bank belong to the Fatui? Last time we saw Zhongli was before we went to the Golden House. Do you think he doesn't know about the attack on Liyue? Visiting the Fatui at a time like this could only mean more trouble. We had better go and make sure that everything is okay.
Okay. Wir sollen zum Bank gehen. Halt, nicht klettern. Ach so, hier. Hier geht's lang. Alter, ich werde es nie vergessen. Ich werde es nie vergessen, dass es ein riesiger Kampf war. Oh, ich werde das nie vergessen dafür. Ich werde das nie vergessen.
You call this cooperation between Harbingers? Cooperation involves communication, you know.
Don't take it to heart, child. Besides, aren't you happy that you got to skip the formalities and bring chaos to the land? Oh, it seems that some of your friends have arrived.
Hey, it's Zhongli and Child. And you're also one of the Harbingers?
La Signora!
It's you two. I believe we've met once before. In the city of Bards, was it? I'm glad you still remember my name. Ah, right. I imagine that it must have been rather hard to forget watching helplessly as something precious was snatched away from your friend.
Ich habe noch Zeit, es zurückzuholen.
No, don't let her get to you. You've yet to gather the powers of all 7 elements, and our last battle at the Golden House was almost more than you could handle. So it might be best to keep things peaceful this time, seeing that 2 of the Harbingers are here.
Well, if it isn't you two. This is our first time seeing each other since Liyue was nearly wiped off the map. This is certainly a bit awkward.
Paimon knew that we should never have trusted a Fatui Harbinger.
Oh, now don't say that. Sure, I may have misled you, but I never had anything against you personally. Besides, I thought we were getting along quite well together, didn't you? Except for that little tussle we had at the end. Nothing personal. We just have different views, that's all. Of course, you may very well hold this against me, but that's up to you. The real deceivers here are Senora and Zhongli. Curse them for leading me on.
La Signora und Zhongli?
So actually, I think...
Stop wasting time, child. There'll be plenty of time to chat once I'm through here. You remember the agreement, Morax. Now, if you would be so kind. The Gnosis, please.
Vereinbarung?
What in the world are you talking about?
The contract is fulfilled.
How sanctimonious.
Also Zhongli ist... Also ist Zhongli tatsächlich Rex Lapis?
What? So you're the Lord of Chiao? No, wait. That's an exciting twist and all, but why give the Gnosis
I do not give it for free. I give it as agreed upon in the contract, for it is a matter solely between the Tsaritsa and I.
Und warum hast du deinen eigenen Tod vorgetäuscht?
Yeah, you don't think you went a little bit too far with that whole fake death thing? Everyone was preparing the ceremony for you and splat! This big dragon falls out of the sky and all of Lyric goes into an uproar. Talk about a disaster.
Gathering all the forces that had been bubbling behind the scenes, and then stirring them together in a pot that was bound to boil over.
Wait, what?
Perhaps it's best that I explain. As you know, I've dwelt upon this world for more than 6,000 years. I witnessed the founding of Liyue, together with the Adepti 3,700 years ago.
Ich spiele nur die Story, aber ich spiele auch manchmal auch hier im Kampf mit zusammen, also mit Multiplayer. Also ich spiele nicht nur die Story. Ja, ich bin noch im Stream.
Even boulders that can withstand whirlpools will erode with the passing of time. Until one drizzly day, as I was strolling along the harbor, I heard a merchant tell one of his workers, "You finished your duties. Go ahead and call it a day." I stood motionless among the crowds, asking myself, have I already finished my duties?
Oh, Zhongli.
But as I began to consider relinquishing my divine role, I soon discovered that many reasons still remained to not hastily depart.
Nach der Story kannst du ruhig zu mir kommen, also um dass wir zusammen auch mal hier gegen Monster zu kämpfen.
Was Liyue, the city I had dwelt in for so long, already prepared to enter its next age? I decided that a test was needed in order to reveal the answer. So I feigned my own death, and gathered the cast of Child, the Adepti, and the Liyue Chising to play their roles together on the stage that was Liyue.
Lass mich raten, für den Fall, dass alles in Flammen aufgegangen wäre, hättest du noch einen anderen Plan in der Hinterhand.
That's right. Which is why I continued to safeguard the Gnosis until now.
So you mean that if the chaos ever reached the point of no return, you would simply appear and use your divine powers to bring Liyue back under control?
Of course, and it would have been all too easy for him too. Just as a child quickly matures after losing their parents, so has Liyue matured when faced with the death of its deity.
I was pleasantly surprised with the finale of the show that you all put on. Why, you even deserved an encore. The Adepti deserve the greatest applause, considering their years of seclusion. They hardly recognized the city, yet faced with such a crisis, they exerted the greatest amount of restraint. Not only did they manage to cooperate with the Chising, but in the end, they even tried to understand the heart of the people. And hats off to the emissary dispatched by the Cryo-Archon to fulfill our contract, Signora. She managed to keep everything she knew in strict confidence, far from the eavesdropping ears of her colleague Child, just as I had requested. All the while, I carried on as Zhongli, and fulfilled the traditions of Liyue in this mortal form. These things were all a part of my script. The only unforeseen plot twist was the conduct of the Liyue Chising. I had expected them to do no more than the Adepti, to come to the defense of Liyue. But when they seized the opportunity to supplant Liyue's divine protectors, and used the subsequent power vacuum left by my death to quickly gain complete control of Liyue.
Huh? That doesn't sound good at all.
On the contrary, I think it is excellent. I had always feared that it was too soon for them to take over from me. And it was also that which I longed for the most. As such, this is the best parting gift anyone could have given this god of old.
Hey, what about me? Doesn't anyone feel the least bit of remorse for deceiving me? You've practically kept me in the dark.
I think that thanks would be more appropriate. You certainly played no small part in all of this, wreaking havoc and turning the city upside down. The Lord of Geo ought to thank you for your performance, if anything. If you hadn't created the pressure of a battle between mortals, Adepti, and a god, the lump of coal resting in the hands of the Geo Archon, Liyue, would never have been able to become a dazzling diamond of a city.
Huh? Just whose side are you on, mocking me like that? Are you itching for a fight?
Du hast es dir dieses Mal wirklich selbst schwer gemacht.
Hey, haven't you learned the Liyue saying, don't always call it as you see it?
Well then, with the Gnosis in my possession, I have no use for such idle chatter. We should return to Zapoljarny Palace and seek an audience with Her Majesty, the Tsaritsa. Come, child.
Fine. I'll meet you there later. I'm not sharing a boat with the likes of you.
Do as you wish.
Now then, is there anything else you wish to ask me?
Ich möchte wissen, wie dir der Kryu-Archon angeboten hat.
Right! As Zhongli always told us, a good trade is a fair trade. Paimon has no idea what could be a good trade for a Gnosis.
Realistically speaking, there is no such thing.
Huh?
However, I am the god of contracts. For thousands of years, I have made countless contracts. If the deal was of no benefit, then I certainly would not be inclined to agree to it. My agreement with the Cryo Archon will be the last of my contracts as the Geo Archon. My contract to end all contracts. As for the bargaining chip that the Tsaritsa used to balance the scales, uncover that answer for yourself in your future journeys.
Liebevoller Abschied, okay, dann wir können gleich hier die zusammenspielen. Ich muss erstmal hier schnell wie möglich aus dem Bank rausgehen. Oh, La Signora, ich traue mir den Braten nicht. Warum die überhaupt die göttlichen Herzen möchte? Warum? Hat die irgendwas mit dem Plan zu tun?
Today's the day of the rite of parting. Although the star of the show is fake, we spent so much time trying to organize it, it would be a real shame not to go there now.
Also von La Signora. Ich möchte hier noch etwas wissen, was die für einen Plan hat.
Well, since we're going through with this rite of parting, I guess it means that those rumors hit the nail on the head.
So Rex Lapis is really... But they didn't catch the culprit, did they?
Du musst erst noch den Teil der Story beenden. Okay.
Oh, come on. Do you think that the assassin could have been a normal person? You know what I think? I don't think any of the gossip on the streets you hear from those shady types is worth anything. There's only one real possibility in my mind. I've heard that the assassin was that Fatui fellow. Youngish, pretty high in rank. I think they called him Child.
The Fatui? They certainly are very suspicious. Who knows what those greedy, crooked folks...
Shh! Lower your voice. If the Fatui catch you in their sights, Rex Lapis won't be around to protect you this time.
Okay, jetzt da lang.
You know that god from the ocean couldn't have just shown up out of nowhere. I mean, it's been 2,000 years since Rex Lapis subdued it.
Yes, and to think that this happened right on the heels of the incident with Rex Lapis, too.
Say, do you think the person who assassinated our lord and released that evil god might have been one and the same?
Now that you mention it, that's very possible. Yes, it's very possible indeed. I mean, it all fits together. That person must have colluded with the evil god to harm Rex Lapis. Oh, that wicked, black-hearted scoundrel. Still, what sort of supernatural prowess must this person possess to be able to do such things? I have never heard of such a person in all my years.
Ah, forget it. Guessing's no use to us. Look, the Millilith over there looks like he's about to make an announcement. Let's hear what the Ministry of Civil Affairs has to say first.
Hear ye all! The Qixing's words. Though a dragon soars ageless as the mountains, it too must return to dust. Gods and Adepti live glorious lives, but both light and shadow have their season. So too must they face divinely appointed trials. Rumors and hearsay abound on the streets that Rex Lapis was murdered. Having been thwarted in his trial, Rex Lapis's soul has recouped the celestial heights. Nor are they to believe street-born rumors or indulge in baseless speculation.
Paimon needs a translation on what the Qixing's announcement said.
Sie sagen, dass Rex Lapis durch einen göttlichen Prozess starb.
So that's how they're spinning it. Something feels off. Why would they suddenly give up looking for the murderer? Not to mention how this excuse sounds like something they just made up on the spot. Could the Qixing already have known that Rex Lapis wasn't dead? But Zhongli said that neither they nor the Adepti knew anything. Did Zhongli tell them in secret after his gnosis changed hands?
Das könnte sein.
Exactly, right? Ooh, seems like the rite of parting has been going on for a while now. Let's go have a look.
Okay.
Look, it's Ningguang and Keqing. Are they saying something? Are there...
As said previously, Rex Lapis's soul returning to the heavens is the end of the contract. And it is also the end of an era.
3,700 years of contracts burnt and reduced to ash.
We, the people of Liyue, were indeed prosperous. But blinded by our prosperity, we forgot that time can be pitiless.
The long, unending dream of our Archon walking among us.
Now that we have awoken from our dream, we must learn to say farewell. Will you stand with us as we re-establish our contracts? As we build a new age of prosperity?
So concludes the words of Her Eminence the Tianquan. Does Her Eminence the Yuheng have anything to add?
Huh? Is she looking this way?
Traveler.
Yikes! She really is looking our way!
Is that the traveler who they say defeated the ancient god?
So young. The Liyue Qixing always repay their debts. And as you have heard, our eyes see far and our reach is long. Name your price. You deserve that much.
Whoa.
Well, could you help me put up some missing person posters?
Okay, und wir sollen hier Leuten sprechen hier.
Ah, Rex Lapis. Oh, Rex Lapis. Now that I think about it, if everyone's of the same mind as me, perhaps mementos for Rex Lapis might be the best short-term business opportunity.
And to think I'd put my best perfume on before coming here, thinking you'd like it. But it seems as if those perfumes really were meant to be offered to Rex Lapis. Well, that's fine. Suffer no rivals in love, they say. And that's 3 gone in 1 stroke.
As for the mortals and Adepti of Liyue, what shape shall our relationship take from now on?
Okay, wir sollen... Ach, da ist er. Da ist er. Hey, Zhongli.
Hey, Zhongli! Look at this. Everyone in Liyue is caught up in their emotions, thinking that they'll never see Rex Lapis again. And here you are looking all relaxed.
Why would I not feel more at ease after laying down the burden I have borne for 3,700 years? Right. If the two of you can spare the time, I should treat you to a meal at the Xinyue kiosk.
Ha! That sounds like big talk, Zhongli. Paimon might have believed you if you were treating us to some third-round knockout, but you'd have to pay out your nose just to stand inside Xinyue kiosk. Are you sure you can afford it?
You're right. I do lack the Mora.
Du warst schon die ganze Zeit so, aber...
But why would Morax lack Mora?
As the Rex Lapis Morax, I can easily create Mora. But since I have chosen to walk this earth as the mortal Zhongli, I should abide by the same rules that mortals do. When I was journeying with you, though I still had the Gnosis in hand, I knew that I must soon retire from my role as an Archon. So I had to rehearse a little.
Oh, no wonder! Paimon gets it now. You didn't look at the price tags when we were spending because you've never had to. But since you weren't used to not being able to just make more Mora as and when you wanted to, you had to try becoming a parasite to society who lives off of other people's credit.
Well, we were only spending Fatui money. You don't have to say it like that. In the City of Commerce, we do not merely exchange money or goods. We also exchange knowledge, memories, and foresight. The Archon Morax could never experience life as the true mortal Zhongli could, no matter how many times he descended to be with his people. I must thank you for that. I will treasure the memories that I made as Zhongli, traveling the streets of Liyue with you.
Es war eine großartige Reise.
That is true. But there is no journey that does not end. No meetings without partings.
Paimon thinks that we should make a move and continue our search for the 7.
I fear that continuing your journey may be difficult. The nation that neighbors Liyue by sea, Inazuma, is presently closed.
Welcher Gott herrscht über Inazuma?
The Electro-Archon Ball. And just as the people of Liyue preferred to call me Rex Lapis, she too goes by another name among locals in Inazuma.
Paimon thinks we've heard that one before. Raiden?
Hey, Trick 7.
That is the case. And since Raiden is also the Shogun of the Inazuma Bakufu, people call her the Raiden Shogun.
Das Inazuma Bakufu?
That said, though people at the wharf were saying that the situation in Inazuma is very tense. Paimon doesn't remember that always being the case. It wasn't that bad last year. Zhongli, since you're Rex Lapis, shouldn't you know something about what's happening there? Just how did Inazuma become a closed nation?
It's because of visions.
Visions?
When faced with circumstances beyond their control, humans often bemoan their lack of power. But if a person shows true strength of will at a desperate and fateful moment in their life, the gods will look upon them with favor. This is what visions are. Magical foci bestowed upon those who have been acknowledged by the gods.
Uh-huh. That's how people in Teyvat see it.
But starting from last year, the Raiden Shogun began promulgating the Vision Hunt Decree.
Vision Hunt Decree?
Yes. It was an order to seize all visions within Inazuma's borders, and to inlay them upon the hands of a statue of the 1,000-armed, 100-eyed god.
They want to seize visions. But why? Aren't visions blessings from the gods?
I should think that in the Raiden Shogun's eyes, it is precisely because they are divine blessings that they should be under the sole dominion of divinity.
Whoa, that's harsh.
The Anemo Archon is the god of freedom, and the Geo Archon is the god of contracts. For her part, the Raiden Shogun is the god of eternity. It seems as though she has finally decided to eliminate any unstable elements that could pose a threat to her eternal realm. The fact that even I, the oldest of the seven, have now passed away, will only strengthen her resolve to pursue eternity. Knowing her, she must have again quoted that adage she is most fond of when proclaiming that decree to her people. 7 ideals for 7 gods, and of these, eternity is nearest unto heaven.
Himmel.
All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know?
Was Kingsing von Liu angeht.
The time of the Adepti has long passed. If even the Liu Qixing don't want to face that truth, then what future is there for Liu? Kuching is absolutely right in saying this. Now, though I did laud Ningguang's desire for power, believing this to be a good thing, and thought as a matter of course that she must have been behind the Qixing's plan to take governing power over Liu from the hands of the gods and Adepti, could the original person who brought up the idea of seizing power have been... All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know?
Ach so, das ist wieder hier diese Frage, was wir schon mal hier wie bei Venti haben. Das wäre soweit alles.
Well then, I suppose you'll have to find a way to get inside this closed nation.
Das ist genauso wie bei Venti, diese Fragen und so. Ein aufsteigender Stern. Auftrag abgeschlossen. Auftrag abgeschlossen. Oh mein Gott, wir sind fast auf Level Abenteuerstufe 36 erreicht. Oh mein Gott. Wie lang war diese Story eigentlich? Wir haben den Story abgeschlossen. Warte mal. Kurse PBR. Warte mal. Warte mal nochmal, wer bist du nochmal? Warte mal. Pocket Player, wer bist du nochmal hier bei dieser Player? Also. Ja, du? Ja, du, wie heißt du eigentlich in den Genshin Impact? Ach so, oh sorry! Oh sorry! Ich wusste es nicht, oh sorry! Oh sorry, das wusste ich ja nichts. Okay, jetzt warte ich mal kurz, bis er da ist. So. So, warte mal, auf die Karte. Wir besiegen mal ein paar Gegner hier. Also ein paar Gegner. Wir werden mal hier zu den Elektrowürfel gehen, weil ich werde mal am Anfang hier jetzt zu den Elektrowürfel gehen. Weil da besiegen wir mal großzügige, böse Gegner. Kurz vor Stufe 36, also Abenteuerstufe 36. Da brauchen wir noch ein paar solche Erfahrungspunkte. So, jetzt begegnen wir mal die Würfel. Oh, wir müssen aufpassen. Wow! Oh, Klee! Auch einer die legendärsten Figuren. Aber die wird sowieso immer beim Gebet geben. Wow, Achtung! Achtung! Komm schon! Greif ihn sofort! Sehr gut! Hast du sehr gut gemacht. Hast du ganz gut gemacht. Oh, das reicht immer noch nicht. So, die Karte. Jetzt gucken wir auf die Karte. Wir würden jetzt mal zum Feuerpflanze gehen. Ja, das ist lustig. Sehr lustig. Okay, jetzt kommt hier die Feuerpflanze. Also Fluxfeuerbaum. Aber bevor wir zum Fluxfeuerbaum gehen, muss ich erstmal meine Figur wechseln, weil Barbara ist ja von Element Wasser. Du hast da sicherlich auch von Element Wasser. Moment, Truppe. Okay, gut, okay. Okay, ich bin von... Okay, Element Wasser ist schon da. Oh, Ganyu hast du auch. Nice. Ich hab's natürlich auch. Achso. Okay, zum Fluxfeuerbau.
Go, Barbara, go!
Jetzt aufpassen. Jetzt wird's feurig heiß.
Let the show begin!
Oh, Vorsicht! Vorsicht! Okay, die nächste ist die Diamant ist die Blütenkrone. Triff auf die Blütenkrone! Oh Gott, jetzt wird's gefährlich. Jetzt wird's gefährlich mit den Flammen. Okay, was sonst? Elektro! Aua! Okay, hast du gut gemacht. Sehr gut gemacht. Oh ja, das könnte ich gebrauchen. Feuer. Moment erstmal. Ich muss mal kurz auf Freunde. Auf Freunde. Warte mal, wo bist du denn? Freund hinzufügen. Okay, gut. Jetzt das nächste, wo wir jetzt gehen. Oh. Warte mal.
I wonder when I'll be as tall as my big sister.
Gehen wir mal in den Windwürfel. Zum Windwürfel. Auf geht's zum Windwürfel. Windwürfel im Windblickbergen. Moment mal. Karte. Ja, wir sind richtig. Wir sind richtig. So, zum Relook wechseln. Achso. Oh. Den zwischen kleinen Monstern sollten wir lieber mal ignorieren, weil wir so große Monster besiegen. Warte mal, ich warte mal kurz mal auf Pocket Player. Ah, da war wieder... Aha, da war ja so ein normalen Monster beschäftigt. Okay, warten wir kurz mal auf Pocket Player. Priester wieder mal. Okay, gut. Jetzt begegnen wir den Windwürfel. Okay, Achtung. Macht sich bereit. Oh, nein, lass mich los, Ah! War eine schlechte Idee von mir. Ich dachte, das ist ja wie beim Elektrowürfel so, aber... Wo ist der? Ach so, da oben. Pass auf wegen den Tornados.
Next on the agenda.
Okay, der hat jetzt wenig Gesundheit. Er ist erst verwundbar, wenn er seine Würfel wegmacht. Okay, dann als nächstes gucken wir mal. Pocket Player, wollen wir mal versuchen, mal gegen den Wolf zu kämpfen, falls du darauf Lust hast? Also zum großen Wolf.
Guess we can rest a bit.
Okay, gut, dann gehen wir zum Wolfenlauf und bekämpfen gegen den Eiswolf. Die wir in dem Livestream schon mal Razor begegnet haben und den Wolf begegnet haben. Und hoffentlich mal, dass wir auch mal wieder Glück haben und viele Punkte zu kriegen. Nee, ich habe keine Zeit für dich zu kämpfen. Ich habe keine Zeit für dich zu kämpfen. Einfach mal den Wolfsspuren folgen. Wolfsspuren. So, da sind wir. Den Wolfsprüfung. Wo bist denn du? Ah, da bist du. Bereit? Dann los. Adrios.
With sword comes shadow.
Gut, dass du Razor nimmst. Wow!
Ready, steady, go!
Achso, jetzt macht er jetzt diese Phase, diese Wolfsphase. Die Wolfsphase. Okay. Jetzt greif ihn! Uah, wir sind fast tot. Ich bin fast tot. Oh, 174 HP noch. Oh. Ach nee, warte. Wöchentliche Möglichkeiten einsammeln. Warte, Einsammeln des Schatzes aufgebraucht. Was? Ach so, aufgebraucht. Okay. Ach so. Warte mal kurz. Ich guck mal auf die Uhr. Wir können mal noch mal 2 Kämpfe machen. Wir können noch 2 Kämpfe machen. Warte mal, wir können mal die Erdwürfel noch mal kämpfen und dann noch mal den Elektrowürfel und dann mache ich den Stream zu Ende. Vorletzte der Erdwürfel und dann als letztes noch mal den Elektrowürfel. Und dann mache ich den Stream wieder mal zu Ende. Nee, mit dir will ich nicht kämpfen. Okay, ja, da machen wir dann als letztes den Eisflugsbaum. Okay, dann machen wir das. Wenn du so gern möchtest, dann können wir das mal als letztes Mal den Eisflugsbaum machen. Das können wir machen. Das können wir machen. Oh, warte mal, ich muss erst mal warten, bis er kommt.
I still have a lot to do at the guild. How about you take a rest while I go back?
Oh, warte mal kurz. Ich muss das mal kurz heilen, weil sonst bin ich ja voll besiegt. Bloß Glück, dass ich vieles gemacht habe. Kartoffelpuffer macht ganz schön viel Heilen. Also macht ganz schön viel Gesundheit. Okay, lass uns gegen den Erdwürfel besiegen. Oh, du hast auch die Look. Hey, wo ist er? Oh, der ist so gut wie down. Der ist so gut wie down. Okay, wo teleportiert? Ja. Okay. Wahrscheinlich hier. What? Oh nee. Oh, Fail von mir. Fail von mir. Moment, ich muss noch heilen. Mit Wasser. Ich wusste gar nicht, dass man Schockwelle auch wehtut. Okay, jetzt machen wir den Eisflugsbaum als letztes. Auf zum Eisflugsbaum, also den letzten Kampf. Und dann mache ich den Stream zu Ende. Bloß gut, dass ich Feuer habe, also Diluc. Für mich ist Diluc einfach der stärkste von allen. Level 60er. Figur. Warte mal kurz, ich muss noch mal schnell heilen. Ich muss heilen. So, ich komme. Und besiegt. Und besiegt. Okay, gut. Okay, warte mal. Pocket Player. Ich werde jetzt mal den Stream beenden. Also vielen Dank fürs Spielen, also fürs Kämpfen. Das war mir eine Ehre, mit dir noch nach der Story noch ein bisschen zu spielen. Also, hoffentlich hat euch das gefallen und wir sehen uns bald wieder. Wenn ihr dann noch mehr solche Stories seht, dann sieht man das dann später. Also, macht's gut und ciao, ciao.